is the one that's trying to make things stick together here as the first EU1D charges out across, and that allows Leon to just swing in with a little bit of cover, a little bit of support. There's a body on the window. That's Nero with a tight angle. He might be able to catch someone if the mood strikes him, but the swing comes through, and there's a double for Leon. One more, but it's Rips that ends up getting that third kill. Chaoxis shut it down a little too late, and Voy has to rotate his way back in, but can't get too far.
Now, we're not going to see Corey go into yet, as he is, of course, playing on that Blackbeard. His whole job will be to pin them down behind that bomb chassis. As the call's now coming in, Corey will be able to pick up the kill into Void. Last man is now stuck behind the bomb chassis. Didn't know exactly where he is. And the final kill comes in. Corey picks that one up. A very, very clean round here from Rogue, which, of course, has that big scope available to itself. That could really make some good use of these long angles as you open up. But Durza with the run out, able to pick up one, wants to go for second, and we'll be able to get that too.
Great second take there from Durza. You talk about the power of that Valkyrie and how quick
to fight with, especially not if you're coming up against a 552 or a Vector 308, but still have the opportunity to go for that one tap. Spots out the head there, but will not be able to find it yet.
Oh, they've been able to creep through, and they have the cover of the E1D. Cryan suffers a little, but is able to take care of Chaoxis. In fact, he's in the sight. Leon gets dropped on the spin. They don't know he's quite there, though. Cryan gets one more, but now he is all that's left. The diffuser is a bit cold. They're rotating their way up. Cool vibes. The grenade is going to pop around, buy them some time, and allow them to take the fight behind. Fantastic sense there from Cryan. He's dug his way out of a bit of trouble. He has a minute, so he has more than enough time to rotate and reconvene. He's going to open up some options, drop the default, and plays the idea of where am I? Instead, might try and spear his way back round from 90. That barb is going to cause some problems if he tries to creep his way past. He hasn't, I believe, gone for the hop over either, so he's not going to come up the bottom of Cool Vibes. He's just being steady. He can always rotate back round into where he was, and that's seemingly going to be the plan, the ploy.
This is such a good grenade.
I know he's going deep just around the corner. Unfortunately, missed through it just a little. But look at the repositioning of Aruni. Aruni's gone now behind the bar. They've found themselves a fresh location after being droned out before. He still thinks that there's someone maybe playing on that close angle. He doesn't know they've both stacked up on this right-hand side, on this entry. They're having a bit of a conversation. They're waiting for a little bit more as they finally pop themselves in on this final 10 seconds. A bullet came over the top. He pre-fires, but Blaz is able to lock it off and TrainHard. Get there.
That's how Coastline works. You get an opening, you try and push from there on.
Still steady on the approach here. Dockerby's putting the calls down and seeing if they can find the body that's just close behind the pillar inside Sunrise Bar. Blaz is obviously just on that swing round on the opposite side of the door as well. It makes it a very uncomfortable situation to enter until Leon does that. Gets that opener kill on Sunrise, pushes them into a very tricky situation. Blaz responds so well though. Pushes in deep, gets the double perfect prediction there of Blaz, who has really opened with a scream. Crying, gets one on the front door onto the Lamborghini doorway and gives themselves a little bit back, puts us back to a 3-3, but this allows this big rotation from Blaz.
Yeah, big rotation possibility right here, but Cryan will be able to pick him up, and it's a bit anticlimactic after you just saw the Orcs dash into the Sunrise Bar, were able to pick up that double kill, and now, unfortunately, will not live much longer. And with that, it is going to be a 2-3 situation here in favor of Rogue, but they do need to pick up that diffuser, and while Durza is still above, has that Nitro available, just accidentally sticks it to the doorpost though, and as the Nitro will be surely popping soon, could be used as a distraction tool, letting them know, hey, we are going to be playing vertical, even though that they will be on that ground floor.
See, I think they wanted to try and open that above the diffuser and try and get some of the eyes down there as well, but obviously since that's now gone, they're going for a big pick-up, a big rotation, and it makes it a little bit more costly. They've doubled themselves up on this front door. You can see Corey's putting pressure onto the kitchen window itself. Durza still has the hold from above, but instead is rotating around to the service side, and that could play into the hands of Durza. The C4 pops on the other side. They're trying to, as you said, draw some attention, which it has from Nook. They are putting a bit of danger in, but look at 15 seconds left. If Durza can pull off the most important play, well, he's a little late. They pop round, and Corey has the response, has the pickup and the tenacity to say, no, 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 this is my service entry.
Luggage, hoping to provide some cover to Blaz, who is playing around that area. Says we'll be going for a bit of a drop down there. It's about 1 damage, nothing too much. Easily checking the bathroom as they now do move through. the security here, and there you have it. That's the hatch that is being watched currently, and Kioxis, he wants to confirm that kill, but it might be a bit too dangerous. Might have to go and commit to the drop, but in the meantime, Blast is coming from the back right here. We'll be able to pick up that double kill and clean up here for TrainHard.
Yeah, great positioning there from Blaz. As I said, he was playing that really aggressive situation there before. He was kind of peeking towards the front doorway. They lost it before, and now, well, any doorway seems to be as dangerous. Just leaves rips, but not for very long. TrainHard instantly back to the 2-2. Here's a problem I've prepared for later. It's down to, I guess, the positioning on coastline, because one lost corner, one lost position can be a massive problem. Cryan has stacked himself up on that white window behind. He's going to cut off the rotation and make sure they're in a very tricky situation. Needs a lot of support to come through here, but unfortunately doesn't come quick enough. Leon takes care of Void. They're going to dig themselves closer towards Durza, who's otherwise still dancing around, but pulls away from the drone and just hightails it out of there. Not before they get cut off as Cryan finds one of their own. Suddenly, a lot of TrainHard has suffered on the other side of the map. You've still got Blaz underneath by that lobby, just leaving Kioxis alone with a lot of space and a lot of time.
Seems like Jaeger died from a spawn peak. Good to know. Either way, Kioxis able to pick up a kill onto Corey. That means it's starting off again to try and bring it back. They need to find two more to equalize that. And as Blast is trying to come around the corner, he managed to get the kill onto Aces, but certainly will be shut down right after by Leon Gids. And that only leaves Kioxis in a 1v3 situation. With a minute left on the clock, it's plenty of time for Rogue. So they will be using their drones, the one that they have left, to try and find out where he's located. There's also a bit of utility probably available on Cryan they can use to try and go for these stuns, and Nitro will not be very successful. They just need to single him out.
Yeah, they hoped that somebody was obviously moving with that drone to get a bit of aggression, but no one was. It's a big bit of utility now that they have lost, and it's all down to just seeing if they can get the pop and the swing. 30 seconds, it's not doable, but it's in no way easy. They go for the big rotate. They're well aware the pressure's coming from Accra at this point in time, and they know it can't not go anywhere else. There's a moment where the C4 would be very useful. Unfortunately, it's the firefight they've got to take. Cryan kills Leon, gets him out of there as Rips gets the plant down. A bit of a blessing and a bit more of a scratch. But with one close and one just outside that double, it becomes a very tough approach. Rogue back ahead. One round. Somebody slips into his angle, and there it is. There's the fight with the Lesion. Valkyrie is there to try and swing on two, but they, again, are worried about being isolated.
A lot of damage done onto Void right there. Is really not going to be able to go into another gunfight, and as the first of the smoke canisters will be popped, there is still that player from below, and Nitro already pushed up, wondering if that is just to wait for the last very second as soon as the actual plan comes down, or if that will be blown up a little bit prematurely. 20 seconds left on the clock, however, and a little bit of an advantage here for Rogue.
The canister just popped in the middle of Hookah. I'm wondering if that was a mister or just a bit of missed intel as to where the push is. That C4, I think that's still there, and there it does. It gets the tailwind of the push and the pull. Suddenly everything's exploding at the top of the stairs, but you look at where all the bodies are. Rips, you've got to try and stick that diffuser. Goes in the middle of the wall, puts us into a 2 versus 2. They've got to stick this. They're in the best possible position because this is the only place Aces can offer the full cover and support. Finally gets his first kill. And it's very necessary at this moment in time. They are swinging and popping up. Voy again on a sliver of health. Puts Rips down almost as low. There is still that worry in the cover on the split push. As I said, it's the best possible place because they know they have to dig across this firefight. They don't have the time to go for anything close to a rotate. They've got to see if they can isolate the two firefights. Rips even lower. But he's still just trying to push one of them into an uncomfortable situation, doesn't find it. Aces finds a second, and Rogue find the fourth. Going to push a presence to get themselves into the situation, but with Voy at the bottom of Cool Vibes, with still this push coming from a mix of VIP and from luggage, they haven't quite found themselves able to isolate a single player yet. It means it's going to be a very explosive push. And it might start now as that EU1D tears out. Blaz gets Leon there, waiting and swing by the door. Aces is the first to respond and react as the pressure comes round on the backside. Kioxis digs himself deep, and it's Nura that finds one with Rips quick on the trade, and Cryan blocking off that body balance. The spray comes round. Kioxis with a great double. Digs his way through onto the site and instantly finds it back into his favor. Cryan, though, they're well aware of where he is, but with only a sliver of time left, he can play this pretty well. Takes the first firefight, can't quite lock it off yet. It sprays either side. Who's going to get this early one?
Oh, you're out of ammo!
Durza took a second to reload before getting into the confrontation again, but unfortunately, Not the same can be said for Rogue 4-3. Gives him a little bit of support from the opposite side as the drones still were their way away. They've been able to take some of the control here on the front door, but look at this, Asus just on that front door, swings out against them, takes service and says, hey man, I'm over here. You gotta still pay some attention to us. The Sam Cams down the corridor and up the top are gonna get some very good beats and reads, but it's Leon. It's in a very tough, tricky situation. The drone catches them. There's the first firefight, takes it brilliantly. There is someone on the opposite side, I believe, of the courtyard, but they haven't quite swung through just yet. Sprays all over the shop, but it's Cryan that finally offers some support, and there is Blast that I talked about before. Yeah, that won't do that from that range, my friend.
Trying to kill him with the Gaunt 6. Might have thought he had a pistol instead. Shot that one charge that should do 10 damage, but unfortunately didn't quite hit him. And with that, of course, had to quickly reload. Nothing too bad, just no more Gaunt 6 in hand to use on a potential piece of utility you tried to take care of. Luckily, not really such a thing. There's no shields, there's no evil eyes that you need to take care of, so not a real big loss. And instead, we will be letting it boil down to a 2-on-3 gunfight. 40 seconds are left on that clock, and well, Rogue are finding themselves quite comfortable, you can say.
Yeah, they've still got to do a lot of work up here. They obviously have the sledge to try and bury their way down, but Aces still has that C4 in pocket too. They have the potential to cause some problems. And Cryan, well, he doesn't need it. He just gets himself into the gunfight and gives them more to think about. The sprays come through. They're looking for anything, but with only 15 seconds left and a slight move away from that, there's the damage done to Cryan. The C4 popped a bit early. He's hopped behind the reception desk, and Durza is able to get a great pick up there. It's a 1 versus 1 out of nowhere, but there's only 5 seconds, 4 seconds, and not too many more.
Enough time, maybe.
One way, he almost had it, Corey, though. Break dances to success.
Every single point will count, and both these teams will feel that. Rogue, of course, having some experience with that, as Blast will be able to pick up the very first kill in this round. A beautiful headshot with that V308, and as now the Boom Boom Bots are about to be sent in. They do find out there is an Orcs right around the corner. Cryan almost losing his life right there, and Leon gets deciding to lend some support. But Blast is just swinging in with that 308.
I mean, he is pre-firing everything he needs to, and he's making it look so easy. And that's the thing about this player is we've always said he has the possibility to be one of those amazing young gunners. Leon, in the meantime, is trying to cut him off in his pride. But Blaz, a great take there. Heard the audio and made that gun sing with all of the bullets that he has in the mag. It was a good attempt by Leon, but he couldn't quite make it. Mark 5-3, and it's looking quite daunting in this 5 versus 2 with 2 minutes left. So much time for the attackers to reconstruct.
Blast just did a Blast thing right there and was able to pick up some huge kills. Now the floors will be used to open up the wall right behind the blue bar, which enables a potential plant to come through, to be facilitated. And Aces is trying to go for a bit of a challenge, but Blast is going to be able to pick up a squad kill. He's going to be going for the ace right here. Nora, in the meantime, will be going for the plant. Corey will be dug in deep, and Blast gets the final headshot as well. That's an ace right there with the line and the V308. Make sure it becomes bulletproof. With that, we stay into a 5-on-5 situation right now with about 36 seconds left. Are they going to be able to make this stick? There you have it, a drone through the drone. Is going to be able to at least dig himself right in there, and that is going to be making it quite difficult for Corey in his current position. Will be forced out just a little bit, but stays alive.
Pre through the C4 as it's only 20 seconds left. They know they've got to throw themselves in, and Leon got the opener on the swing, but it's Voy inside the site as they suddenly bleed their way through. Blaz with a great pickup and rips with Revenge, trying to stick the diffuser onto the default, but they realize they need to bury themselves a little bit closer away from that hole underneath. They've got this body advantage. It's just Rips left, but they see him first, and TrainHard bring us back to a balance of 5 apiece.
There we have it. Now we can see TrainHard fight for the 3 points themselves as well.
More support as more explosives pop off either side. Sees one drone. Quite sure what happened to the Flores drone, if it got caught in the mix. No, it just popped on the other side, opened up the wall instead. I thought they were trying to be hyper-aggressive with it, but instead just partially aggressive. Now as the grenade pops over the top, perfectly played by Durza there. But look at that intense pressure that TrainHard had. As I said, sometimes they go for the site, sometimes they go for the man. That was a full cost, and it was very well spent.
It is indeed, and Rips right now, his position will be challenged. Durza pushing in as well, able to pick up aces. Now they need to find Corey. We'll be able to find him, and it's just a flawless round from TrainHard.
Minute marker, and we still have 8 players left, and they've been able to recollect the diffuser pretty quickly, but that could be a kill that starts to define things.
So dangerous of Blast, just walking down with his gun down on the ground as he is, just sprinting past. You knew one was behind that desk, and you just put yourself very vulnerable for that peek that just happened upon you. And well, now the plans are shifting. They're going from the bar, they're trying to push into the hallway, and they will be using these Flores drones to put up some extra pressure and create some extra angles. It's just that there's 34 seconds left on that clock. It's not much time, but they will have to make it work.
Rips in the meantime, he's rotated his way background, but it's Corey with the double, leaves just the two bodies inside Sunrise. They've got to hightail it and hop their way to that diffuser to then probably just only dig themselves in through the kitchen window. I don't think they have any other options in terms of timing, so they're just going to have to take this full gun barrel aggro. Durza gets that opener, it puts them into this situation of 10 seconds, burn through everything inside and takes the first fight if they can. Can't quite make it, so has to look down, hold F, cry and swings round. Great bait and play. Now you've got to stick it, but now there's no time left, and we, for the first time today, go to OT.
With that, a piece of information will be gone. However, that evil eye that is stuck in the back of the kitchen wall right there is going to be so valuable, especially in this late round. So much information can be gained from that.
Well, there's Corey lurking towards that Maestro, dug in on the bathroom. Their range is obviously a much different sort of firefight that they can take. Can be long, but look at Durza.
That's some
creeping
oh my
God,
God,
finds one, finds two, the hop out, can't quite find the third 30 seconds. They go for safety, and that was such a rotation, untested, and Vory finds one with that big beast of a gun, but Leon finds some revenge. A 2 versus 2, 10 seconds on the board. He's digging his way through sight, sees the Valkyrie, can't quite lock it off. Goes right up, collateraled through the two bodies.
No way.
Rogue. One round away yet again.
You just got to make sure that you do not lose your shields. You do not lose the other pieces of utility that will be located a bit further up those stairs. And as TrainHard is setting themselves up, a lot of the utility will be tossed in. Grenades will be coming in as well. They're trying to go for these kills now.
They took a bit of a gamble and tried to go with an alternate approach, but it was shut down a bit by Leon on the Cool Vibe stairs. Another body falls to Aces. They tried a bit of a risk here on the final attempt, the final possible round. Instead of doing the push that they'd done the first two successfully, they went with a third and expected a little bit more of a countenance, but unfortunately for them, the counter has sort of applied itself to this site and this hold either way. Rogue have been able to hold themselves steady for now, puts Durza and Nura into a tricky situation as they see if they can just pull one more player out. There's a bit of a separation between the two. Durza's dug himself underneath to see if he can strike at a loose body and get someone by a bit of surprise, but with only 10 seconds, what they do is have to be quick. They have to try and drive themselves round. They go for the close fight. There's two stacked up down this corridor, finds the first, can't find the second, and now as it swings round, a very shaky firefight is ended by Cryan and Rogue against what was a fantastic resurgence by TrainHard, who still get a point. Unfortunately, don't quite match Rogue's two.